What's going on, everyone? I'm just an average American here today to react and learn about King Charles III. King Charles III. That sounds a little different, doesn't it? And his first address to the nation, to the people, after the very, very recent death of Queen Elizabeth II. If you were to ask an American, I don't think the vast majority of Americans could have told you who was next in line to the throne. I certainly was not up to date about the children of Queen Elizabeth II, who was next in line. It's very random who the American press and American media covers in regards to royalty. And it usually has to do with royal drama and stuff like that. So with all of this very recent and sudden news and the passing of the Queen, suddenly a lot of Americans are hearing for the very first time ever about King Charles III, including myself. I've never really seen him much. Don't get me wrong, some Americans are more, with it than me. Some are a little more on the pulse of things, international news and whatnot, before all of this. But I've never really seen Charles. I've never heard him speak. And I have to imagine, just thinking about this from his point of view, his mother just passed away, for one thing, which is extraordinarily sad for everyone, especially him. And he's just inherited, something he definitely knew was coming, right? Certainly, something he was very aware was coming in his life, but that maybe he hoped in a way would never come, that he was, who knows how prepared he was for it, and when the day does finally come, and it has come, he's now addressing the nation, trying to talk to the people, as the king. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm quite interested to see what he has to say in his first address and kind of experience, what he's like, his personality, his demeanor, things like that, which kind of, in my unique perspective, I haven't seen. So that's kind of a bonus for me. I'm going to learn a lot here. So let's take a look, right?
I speak to you today with feelings of profound sorrow.
Yeah.
Throughout her life.
For one thing, yes, especially from his point of view, extreme sorrow. And he has to talk to everyone, and he himself is mourning, but a nation and a world is mourning. Yeah, I like that. I can already tell he has a very good temperament. But how old is King Charles? Hold on. King Charles III. Age. I didn't realize. 73? Queen Elizabeth was 96, right? That would make sense. 73. So, wow. Okay, let's keep going.
Her Majesty the Queen, my beloved mother, was an inspiration, an example to me and to all my family.
Yeah, and to the world. And America has been talking about this a lot. Queen Elizabeth was really a lot of Americans and American media are pointing out a real connection to the past. And just this figure that to America has always been there and always been this symbol of the UK. When America thinks of the UK, they think of the Queen. It's wild.
And we owe her the most heartfelt debt any family could owe to their mother, for her love, affection, guidance, understanding, and example.
Wow.
Queen Elizabeth was a life well lived, a promise with destiny kept, and she is mourned most deeply in her passing.
She did have an extraordinary life. I like Charles. I like him. I've never really heard him before. I've only listened to the guy for 30 seconds now, but I like him. if you're talking about first impressions, do people in the United Kingdom like King Charles? What's the opinion here? You know, the hot take. I'm curious about that.
That promise of lifelong service I renew to you all today.
Wow.
Alongside the
That's quite a statement, right?
personal grief that all my family are feeling, we also
I mean, sorry to keep pausing, but as far as personal grief goes, he does seem to be handling this quite well. He's quite put together. Not that I expect him to be crying on national television, but my point is, he's been with his mother. He's seen it, you know, he was probably with her the last few days, and he was probably pretty aware that her time, she was pretty old, and the time was going to come sooner rather than later where she would pass away and this situation would happen. So I imagine psychologically he has prepared himself for this moment.
share with so many of you in the United Kingdom, in all the countries where the Queen was head of state, in the Commonwealth and across the world,
Yeah.
a deep sense of gratitude for the more than 70 years in which my mother, as Queen, served the people of so many nations.
I mean, she was really one of the last global figures. Everyone in the world knows the Queen. It's like she's a piece of history. Was a living, breathing piece of history. It just makes it extra sad that she has passed away, but her legacy was truly incredible, and it looks like everyone is really acknowledging that fact. It's undeniable.
In 1947, on her 21st birthday, she pledged in a broadcast from Cape Town to the Commonwealth to devote her life, whether it be short or long,
Really?
to the service of her peoples.
I didn't realize she was 21. In her 20s when she became queen. That's crazy. That's wild. Wow.
That was more than a promise. It was a profound personal commitment which defined her whole life.
Yeah.
She made sacrifices for duty. Her dedication and devotion as sovereign never wavered through times of change and progress, through times of joy and celebration.
You know, I think that is one of the things she's most well known for, her unwavering dedication to her role. And it really is a lifelong commitment. I was going to say lifelong sacrifice of your own person to your country. That's basically what she did. Also, is he reading from a teleprompter? Or is he saying all of this off the cuff? Is he just making this up as he goes? Because that would be incredible. I would really like to know if he wrote this speech in advance, or if he is just talking. I mean, I think everyone just reads speeches at this point, but not that that takes away from anything that he's saying. It's all very beautiful so far. But if he was just saying this as he goes, that would be, that'd be incredible, incredible speech ability.
And through times of sadness and loss. In her life of service, we saw that abiding love of tradition, together with that fearless embrace of progress, which makes us great as nations. The affection, admiration, and respect she inspired became the hallmark of her reign.
Yeah, I mean, I've reacted to a lot of different Queen Elizabeth stuff. Some funny moments, some badass moments, some of her history and best moments. Her life was incredible, and she, as a person, she was just like a great person, which I've always said, she kind of had it was complete luck and destiny, if you want to say. for her to be queen, for anyone to be a queen or royalty. So if that's going to happen to anyone, it was so nice that it happened to such a genuine, kind person.
And as every member of my family can testify, she combined these qualities with warmth, humor, and an unerring ability always to see the best in people.
Yeah.
I pay tribute to my mother's memory, and I honor her life of service. I know that her death brings great sadness to so many of you, and I share that sense of loss beyond measure with you all.
Right. It is very sad. I mean, another thing a lot of Americans are saying, kind of in jest, but kind of seriously, is the Queen. We thought she would be there forever. Queen Elizabeth has been there since everyone in my generation and a generation before me have been alive. So we just kind of made a calculation in our brains where it was like, oh yeah, the Queen of the United Kingdom, she'll always be there. She's the Queen, you know. It's so strange now.
When the Queen came to the throne, Britain and the world were still coping with the privations and aftermath of the Second World War.
Yeah.
And still living by the conventions of earlier times. In the course of the last 70 years, we have seen our society become one of many cultures and many faiths.
Yeah.
The institutions of the state have changed in turn. But through all changes and challenges, our nation and the wider family of realms, of whose talents, traditions, and achievements I am so inexpressibly proud, have prospered and flourished.
Yeah, I mean, since Queen Elizabeth has been queen, 70 years have passed. The world has changed, and then changed again, and then changed again in that amount of time. And she's been there all the while, and actually watched a video at one point kind of explaining some of the actual duties of what royalty does on a day-to-day basis, just so I could get a better understanding of what the Queen and others actually do. And their life is jam-packed full of stuff and obligations and people. It really is a lifelong commitment, and it's amazing.
Our values have remained, and must remain, constant. The role and the duties of monarchy also remain, as does the sovereign's particular relationship and responsibility towards the Church of England, the church in which my own faith is so deeply rooted.
I don't know why. This kind of reminds me of another thing American government is kind of saying, like, how will the relationship between the United Kingdom and the royalty and the rest of the world and nations is going to change a little now. Because things were kind of set, kind of stagnant, kind of written in stone for a while, the relationships, because Queen Elizabeth was like an institution in and of herself. And now it's changing. We have King Charles III now. It's a new relationship in regards to America that our president has to have with the new monarch. Like, it's going to change the dynamic a little. It's a different person. That's all I'm saying. And American media was kind of touching on that a little bit. So that's all very interesting as well.
In that faith and the values it inspires, I have been brought up to cherish a sense of duty to others.
Yeah.
And to hold in the greatest respect the precious traditions, freedoms, and responsibilities of our unique history and our system of parliamentary government.
I mean, if Charles is 73, was it? He was born. He's only been alive as far back as his mother has been queen. He's always known he was the heir then, right? He's always had this sense of duty and expectation instilled into him. Like he's been waiting for this moment. As sad as that is, he's been waiting for this moment to happen for 7 decades. And now it's here. And this is a nice speech. This is a nice, I'm enjoying what he's saying. I'm enjoying his delivery and him. So I think he's doing a nice job so far. You know, I might be jumping the gun, but I'm enjoying this.
As the Queen herself did with such unswerving devotion, I too now solemnly pledge myself, throughout the remaining time God grants me, to uphold the constitutional principles at the heart of our nation.
Yeah, Charles, I can tell, is just really, is what you need right now. He's a really straight shooter. He understands perfectly what's expected of him. He completely understands this obligation of duty to his country and in this role. So it really does come across like he totally understands the position he's in and what's expected, and he's ready and willing to take on this, which is very comforting, I would imagine.
And wherever you may live in the United Kingdom, or in the realms and territories across the world, and whatever may be your background or beliefs,
he's talking to me.
I shall endeavor to serve you with loyalty, respect, and love, as I have throughout my life.
I like that. I like that a lot. I like the addition of the word love. I think that's great. Because it's a little more personal. It's a little more real. This does extend. This cuts so deep, you know. All of this. Death, a new king. Like, these are serious things. So, love is definitely involved here.
My life will, of course, change as I take up my new responsibilities. It will no longer be possible for me to give so much of my time and energies to the charities and issues for which I care so deeply.
Right. I'm sure he had a lot of personal relationships and stuff he was doing as a prince before. Because when you're not the king or queen, you have responsibilities, but you also get to kind of forge your own career and do as you please a little bit more. But now as king, it's like, I would imagine he has a very specific, set schedule of responsibilities.
But I know this important work will go on in the trusted hands of others. This is also a time of change.
I also like that he's acknowledging all that, too.
To my family.
Oh, his family, yeah.
This is also a time of change for my family.
Yeah.
I count on the loving help of my darling wife, Camilla.
Camilla.
In recognition of her own loyal public service since our marriage 17 years ago, she becomes my queen consort.
17 years ago? He got married when he was 55 or something? Okay.
Marriage 17 years ago, she becomes my queen consort.
Okay.
I know she will bring to the demands of her new role the steadfast devotion to duty on which I have come to rely so much.
I don't really know exactly what's expected of the spouse of the king or queen. He's referring to her as a queen consort. I guess that means married in, with him being the king, something like that.
As my heir, William now assumes the Scottish titles which have meant so much to me.
William. Prince William? Ooh, Prince William? 40 years old? Yeah, him. I know Prince William. I've seen him. I know this guy. He is shown in American media fairly regularly, so I've caught a glance of him. So he's 40. Is he the son of Charles? He is the elder son of Charles. Oh, it says right here. Thank you, Wikipedia. Very kind of you.
He succeeds me as Duke of Cornwall
Okay.
and takes on the responsibilities for the Duchy of Cornwall, which I have undertaken for more than 5 decades.
Yeah, I didn't even think about how all of this shifts everyone's position around in the royal hemisphere, if you will, where there's all these titles and royal lineages and stuff moves around. You become a duke or a lord or something when your father becomes king, and I'm sure a million things like that are happening right now.
Today, I am proud to create him Prince of Wales, Tywysog Cymru, the country whose title I've been so greatly privileged to bear.
Yeah, these have all been titles that Charles has had for the last many, many decades, I imagine, and which come with duties that he's done.
During so much of my life and duty. With Catherine beside him, our new Prince and Princess of Wales will, I know, continue to inspire and lead our national conversations, helping to bring the marginal to the center ground, where vital help can be given.
Wow. I like a lot of what King Charles is saying. Truly. I also like that he has firmly taken a viewpoint, a stance, a delivery here of assurance. Everything is in working order. Everyone knows their responsibility. Everyone is prepared to take on these responsibilities and move towards a better future. Great message. I think that's perfect and well delivered.
I want also to express my love for Harry and Meghan as they continue to build their lives overseas.
His other son, right? Prince Harry? Prince Harry. Whoopsie. Harry. Duke of Sussex. Him. And Meghan Markle. They've had some drama. Some drama around them, right? Okay. Yeah, I recognize them. They're very popular in the U.S. press. The U.S. media love talking about them.
In a little over a week's time, we will come together as a nation, as a Commonwealth, and indeed a global community, to lay my beloved mother to rest.
Oh, the funeral. Yeah. I'm sure that's going to be a massive event. Wow. The funeral of Queen Elizabeth. And I also believe today or yesterday, King Charles was kind of officially coronated or crowned as king. He technically became king when his mother passed away, but there's all sorts of official sorts of things, processes that have to happen, right?
In our sorrow, let us remember and draw strength from the light of her example.
Yes.
On behalf of all my family, I can only offer the most sincere and heartfelt thanks for your condolences and support.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
mean more to me than I can ever possibly express. And to my darling Mama, as you begin your last great journey to join my dear late Papa, I want simply to say this: thank you. Thank you for your love and devotion to our family and to the family of nations you have served so diligently all these years. May flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.
Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, this is literally just, this is a son talking to his mother who just died. Doesn't get much more raw than that. And of course, nice that he's sharing that on public media. I'm sure a lot of people are relating to what he's saying. Oh, that's it.
Thanks for watching our...
That's it. Yeah, that was a really nice way to end it. That was by NBC News. American News. Wow. Thanks, American News. You finally... it was finally bearable because it was just straight up a rebroadcast of King Charles III's really good speech. So it was good. Yeah. That was emotional, powerful, well done. I had never heard Charles speak. I'd never really seen him, to be completely honest. He reminds me a bit of Queen Elizabeth, which makes complete sense, right? Seems, I wonder if he shares her sense of humor. But he certainly shares her sense of duty, and had a really just great... He had a lot of points that were really great. He covered all the base points that you need to cover, but his overarching message of, I'm ready for this, we're ready for this, you know, remembering Queen Elizabeth, but also there's a future ahead of us, and we're ready to go down it. I think that's a great way to have approached this speech, this address. I thought it was really nice. I like King Charles III. Of course, this is a very limited reaction, a very limited view that I have of only a couple minutes of him talking. So I understand that my take on it is pretty limited, but that's all I can do, right? So do with that what you will. That's my take. Anyway, I enjoyed that. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to UK news, culture, events, stuff I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.